Welcome back. It's still Nigeria 2015, Saturday edition. Now, when Ayatunde took the headlines, he talked about the fact that the president had a march today in Abuja. Okay, in Lagos, many Lagosians demonstrated their support for the All Progressives Congress, marching for change, to show their support for the presidential candidate, General Buhari, and his vice. Now, the march was from Maryland to Surulere and introduced a new electioneering campaign. One major keyword they were saying is that we want change in Nigeria. Now, the footage you have there is footage from that march, from Maryland all the way to the stadium in Surulere. That's the footage of the march there. They say it's 1 million. Okay, welcome back. That's footage from the march earlier today by the All Progressives Congress. You saw the footage of the march by the PDP in Abuja also earlier today. Well, let's come back to the studio here. We're still talking party manifesto, and I have people who are asking the question, how? You know, many Nigerians will say we've heard all the promises of the various political parties. You've talked about morality. You've talked about the things that have been done. And you're talking about scorecards. You're talking about the fact that if these things are not, it's not about you've done this. We need to see substantial change. That's what you're talking about. Okay, but question Nigerians are asking, in this new dispensation, how do you intend to create that change or that move away to the uhuru that everybody is seemingly promising the Nigerian people?
Leadership by example. Number one, Professor Ayo Olukoto, in his piece in the Punch newspaper on the back page yesterday, was drawing lessons for Nigeria from the life of the man that was called the poorest president in the world, the former president of Uruguay, who retired recently, and who was able to inspire a whole lot of people by the example of his life.
Please hold your thought. Sorry, please hold your thought.
Okay.
I need to go over to Washington. Okay. Maria Bird, our correspondent, is standing by to bring us up to speed what Nigerians are saying about the mock authentication exercise by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Maria.
Nigerian Americans are becoming more skeptical of the upcoming Nigerian elections, which are set to take place on the 28th of this month, as new information regarding permanent voter card reader reliability is calling many Nigerian Americans to question why the PVC readers were not reviewed and tested earlier. The executive director for African Views Organization, a U.S.-based nonprofit, has very strong opinions about the permanent voter cards. He states Nigerians have seen it all before, as current permanent card readers are designed to serve as a legal biometric identification of citizens who can vote in the Nigerian elections. He also states that the voter card could generally mitigate voters' fraud, but believes the distribution was handled poorly by the Electoral Commission. While many Nigerian Americans agree that the permanent voter cards create equity for voting with proper execution, they argue that the PVC registration should have been more aggressively advocated and encouraged years prior to the election. With less than a month to go, making the effective distribution of the PVC cards highly unlikely.
Our correspondent Maria Bird from Washington there, telling us what Nigerians think about the permanent voter card and the distribution pattern. Thank you there. Okay.
All right, let me make this
You're
really...
talking about
really,
examples,
yeah.
so, but we need to be real precise. We're running out of time.
Let's make this really snappy. Let's cut out extravagance and wastage from government. Recognizing that we need every naira that we can save to invest into our system. Let us ensure that we get the right people for the job that needs to be done, not succumbing to pressures from whatever, vested interests and so on. Let us make sure that the rights of every citizen is defended. And that is fundamental. Nigeria is a signatory to so many protocols and accords and so on. But in terms of the practice, in terms of the implementation, we do not score very highly. I believe even the president, during the signing of the non-violence accord in Abuja, made a reference to the fact that we are very good on paper, but very often we fall short in terms of implementation. So that those are some of the issues, and let us develop all the other resources that we have.
Let's go to Mr. Ituk. You say yours is a scorecard.
It's a scorecard.
So it's a question that Shitu and Lebari Upong are asking. Yeah. Shitu says we should ask you for how much was the price of a bag of rice and a bag of cement in 2011, and how much is it now? Say the common man is suffering. Okay. And Lebari Upong says, how credible is the National Conference report produced by government hand-picked members?
Yes. Okay, let me take the second question first, as quickly as possible. The very first thing is that every Nigerian gave it that there was very, very robust, honest deliberations. And at the end of the day, the resolutions, nobody has disputed those resolutions. That's the very first thing. And at the end, everybody gave credit to Mr. President that, well, there was really no hidden agenda. This was nice. That's number one. Number two, when you come into the agriculture, which is, like I said, the genre of music played by the present administration, judge me by what I say I want to do. The last word that the farmers in Nigeria who have been weaned off the rip-off want to hear is change. They want to hear consolidation because they've suffered for so long without being able to have fertilizers. Now they have fertilizers. The last word they want to hear is change. Instead, they say consolidate. The last word that people who have, my brother was talking about stages. The first thing that you have as government is a roadmap on an issue. Now we have, before you process, you must produce. So we have a roadmap that now articulates not just the production of cocoa, but the processing of cocoa into chocolate. Do we have the return of the all-year dry season? Yes, we do. Do we have a situation where there was going to be famine because our farmlands were wiped out and yet the prices did not change of food? Did we have that? Yes, we did. Now, have we reached where we want to go? No. We're just starting as a nation. But in terms of the promises and the timelines, we have met each timeline. I think what Nigerians need to do, and we owe Nigerians that.
I have to cut you.
Yes, is to.
I have to cut you and we'll go to the people and hear from the people. Then we'll come back to the National Conscience Party to give their last statement because we're out of time. So let's talk to Mary Alali Yusuf, who's handling our talkback session. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Nyota, and good evening, everyone. Tonight we get the results of this week's question. Would you like to see a debate between President Jonathan and General Buhari? Options were yes, no, and don't care. The results will come in a minute, but first, listen to what people who favor debates in Nasarawa, Cross River, and Abia states want to hear in discussions.
It seems a lot of people have already made up their mind. So no matter how the debate goes, it's not likely to change anything.
I have to talk about the school aspect. We are lack of infrastructures, social amenities. The road have not been constructed very well.
The debate should be centered on the state of the economy of the nation, corruption,
security, corruption, and the state of the economy.
People are not eating well, so it's the issue of eating food.
We have a lot of problems. Insecurity, a lot of things, a lot.
The issue of food, the issue of employment, the issue of health.
Flood carried our fish, so that is insecurity.
Each candidate should know that Nigerian populace, they are now more educated people and they are ready to hear what you have to bring to the table.
So we can always assess people and expect them to do those things.
And now for the results. 69.05% of the voters would like to see a debate between President Jonathan and General Buhari. 16.74% do not want a debate, and 14.21% don't care either way. That's all on Talk Back tonight. Nigeria 2015 continues with Nyota.
Thank you, Mary. And let's come back to the studio as we wind down with the National Conscience Party, the how.
There must be a shift or how Nigeria is being managed. And that shift has to be based on mode of production. Presently, the mode of production is for profit motive, not for the needs of the people. So what I'm saying essentially is that if you want a nation or a state where the needs of people are met, where the welfare of people are met, where there's job, water, food, education, health for all, then the government must make its mode of production on the needs of the people, not for the profit, like it's presently being done by those who have money, who make people to become more poorer than it is today.
Okay, thank you very much. We've been speaking with Remi Shonaya of the COA Party, presidential candidate, Mr. Tunde Ogumbiade, National Conscience Party Lagos chairman, and Nya Etok Ezekiel, who's a member of the People's Democratic Party. Thank you for coming. But just before we go, let's see what we can do with the mails that our viewers have sent in. Can we get an email there? Yes, indeed. These are our mails. And there says, I'm trying to see this very clearly. I registered for the election in Erikorodo in Ikorodu North Local Government 2014, but have been to the polling center for 3 times with my card unfound. That's Ayadi. And I smell foul play is by Temitokwe at Dedion. Says, I went to the INEC local government office at Ogbomoso North and I was told no PVC was produced for those who registered in 2011 in my polling unit PU 30/21/03/008. Temitokwe at Dedion. This one, PVC not found. The PVC issue, I registered at Ijebu Northeast Local Government, Ogun State. My name was found in the register list with my picture, but my PVC is missing. What is my hope of voting? Sunday Oshinloye. Well, that's the much you can do on the mails. Again, is the PVC issue. Still continue searching for your people. We know that a lot of the electorate are still searching and demanding for their PVC. INEC will probably have a word for you before you could say, hey. But thank you so much for letting us be a part of your day. Have a good day. And that's Igwe.